Hello, welcome to this lecture video. I'm Teacher Melay, and today we are going to talk about the scale or the level of measurement. So what are the levels of measurement? So we have the nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. So this level is a range, or our measurements are arranged from the lowest to highest level. Nominal is the lowest level of measurement, followed by ordinal, followed by interval, and the highest is the ratio. Okay, so in our previous video, we discussed what is the difference between quantitative data and qualitative data. Here, we can actually classify that our data belongs to either nominal or ordinal, interval, or ratio, as long as we also know how to determine whether our data is quantitative or qualitative data. Okay, so let us consider, for instance, this table. So this table now shows the definition. So as mentioned, if you know if your data is categorical or numerical, then it's easy for you to determine, or it will rather limit you to choose which among of this level of measurement is the measurement of your data or your variable. Okay, so we have, for instance, nominal. So the nominal data is a categorical. It means that they differ in categories. So we have here the word categories, and then for ordinal, we have check categories and categories with rank or order, simply because ordinal data are also categorical data. However, it differs compared with nominal data because it possesses another characteristic, and that is it is with rank or it is with order. So which means, for example, for nominal data, if the data, for instance, is sex, and the classification or the categories involved in sex is male and female, then it means sex is a nominal data. So ordinal data are also categorical data, except that, for instance, let's consider another variable like, let's say, performance level. So we have the performance as good performance, very good performance, excellent performance. So these are categories, and they differ in categories, except that we can arrange this from lowest to highest rank. So we know that the lowest is, in the mentioned categories, good, very good, and excellent. We know that the lowest is good, while the highest is excellent. Okay, so let's move to another level of measurement or scale of measurement. So we also have what we call as interval. So for interval, it is also it possessed all the characteristics of a nominal and ordinal, except that, so it can be except that, so we have here a check for numerical or measurement, except that it has a numerical or it has measurement. But we have here that this measurement has no true zero or no absolute zero, which means that if it is zero, it means that there is still, there is still a measurement. So it has no absolute zero, because absolute zero means that if it is zero, it means that it is already the absence of the measurement. So let's say, for example, temperature. So the temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. So we cannot claim that there is no temperature, because there is still temperature, and that is 0 degrees Celsius. Therefore, temperature is an interval. While for the ratio, so we have check all the list here, but we have our ratio measurement differ because it has a absolute zero now. So which means if it is a zero, it means it is the absence of that measurement. So let's say, for example, the speed of a car is 0 meter per second. So it means zero, it also means that the car is at rest. So zero means the absence of the speed. There's actually no speed because the car is at rest. So that is how we differ nominal from ordinal and interval from ratio. So as mentioned, nominal is the lowest measurement while ratio is the highest measurement. So however, interval is just a special, what we call this, it is just a special level of measurement, and there are only few of measurement that is classified under interval. So some of the books claim that we only have 3 measurements, and that is the nominal, ordinal, and the scale, wherein the scale or numerical in general includes now either interval or the ratio. So let us see some more examples about this. So let's consider biological data, for instance. So we have here genotype. So for example, the genotype AA, capital AA, capital A, small a. So we have here the genotypes. These are classified as the nominal. So there is no higher, there is no lower. Okay, let us move. How about spine number on the left antenna? So usually it is 20 to 55. So however, if we only consider here just a few, like for example, it will only consider 20 and then 25, you will limit it into 2 only, the classification changes. So it's not numerical anymore, or it's not ratio anymore. So in the case of this, it is ratio. But if we will only consider in an experiment two values like 20 and 25, then it means that this will be treated as not as measurement anymore, but it will be treated as a nominal data. Okay, let's move. So how about isopod food? So again, if we will just limit, for example, that the isopod food is from 25 mm manosed or 5 mm manosed, then it again means that we are treating it as nominal data. Okay, let's consider other biological data. So we have length. So obviously, this is being measured. So if we will consider actual length, then it is a ratio. However, if we are going to consider, for example, length of 5, let's say inches, 5 inches and below, 6 inches to 10 inches, 11 inches to 12 inches, then it means that we are treating it as categorical data. Particularly, it is with rank. So shorter to longer length, then it means it is an ordinal data. So the same with weight. So if we have now the brackets, so we are considering it as ordinal, or we are treating it as ordinal, and it's no longer a ratio. So how about sex? So sex is a categorical, particularly a nominal data. So growth rate, so this is being measured, and of course, if we are going now to consider, this is a numerical data. It is a scale. Ankle condition, so values are normal, sprained, torn ligament, or broken. So this is again categorical. particularly nominal data. So how about data in social sciences or education? So for example, performance test. So it lacks understanding to excels. So this is actually a ordinal data. However, if we will consider actual score again, then it will become interval, because of course score 0 means that there is still a score. So if it is treated as excellent, very good, good, average, poor, it is ordinal. Actual score, it is the interval. So score, for example, actual score, this is interval. In business and accounting, so how about this? So amount of expenses, it is in amount. If it is in bracket, it is ordinal data. It is in actual amount, then it is being measured. So this is ratio. Okay, so we have here salary grade level. So it is in the level, it is ordinal. Monthly salary, 1/3 of the monthly salary. So it talks about money. These are ratio. Okay, let us also consider a questionnaire. So what if the question, for example, is, did you drink any alcoholic beverages at any time during your first semester of college? So this questionnaire is downloaded or taken in the internet. So yes or no. So questions answerable by yes or no are nominal data. Number 10, on average, how many times per week did you consume alcoholic beverages during your first semester of college? So as mentioned, even if it used the term average, however, in the options, this is in a bracket. So 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. So it is ordinal data. Even for the next one, how many drinks did you consume? This is also in the ordinal. Okay, so let's consider another questionnaire, RISE survey questionnaire. So what is your gender? Gender is nominal data. Which of following age groups do you belong? So this is already similar to the previous question. It is with bracket, it is ordinal data. What is your occupation? So this is nominal data. Which of the following categories best describe your monthly income? So it is again being measured. However, in the presentation here, the data that you're going to obtain is ordinal data. It is in a bracket form. What is your ethnicity? Obviously, ethnicity is nominal data. So there's no higher ethnicity or lower ethnicity. So do you eat rice as part of your diet? It is nominal data. How often do you eat rice? Every day, 2 to 5 times per month. So this is again ordinal data. Which channel do you normally buy rice? At restaurant, at convenience store? So it is nominal data. It is categories. When you buy rice, do you pay attention to the origin or producing country? So the no and the yes are actually nominal data, but if you're going to place now the reason here, you are already gathering a qualitative data. So please prioritize the key factors that you consider when buying rice. So the taste, the aroma, the quality of rice, the price. So 1 as the most important and the 5 as the least important. So you are going to give actually scores to this. So you give 1 to the lowest, or rather 1 to the most important and 5 to the least important. So it is scores. However, maybe it would be better if if this will be treated as a scores, then it would be better if you give the highest value to the most important. Or not unless you will just treat it as ordinal, and the interpretation later is also as the first rank, most important, least important, and so on, then it could be that it is the ordinal. So how will you know that the data is quantitative or qualitative data? So here, actually, if you're going to just to consider the actual data obtained, it is qualitative data. Kasi, uh, of course, the bracket 600 to 15, 1,500, 1, and so on are numerical data. But as mentioned, since it is in bracket, it is ordinal. And we know that ordinal data are categorical or qualitative data. Then the actual data are qualitative in nature, except that if we, for example, treat this later as scores, or if we treat it as coming up with frequency distribution table and then average, so we are coming up now with a quantitative data. So for instance, if we count for the number of male and the number of female, the number or the frequency is quantitative data. Frequency, and then convert it later to percent, it is quantitative data. That's why usually if you are using questionnaires like this, you are actually coming up with a quantitative study using survey questionnaire. So if you will interpret this using how many of the respondents are male, female, how many of them belong to age group less than 20, you are using a quantitative data. So we have here integrations of your learning. As a result of your work in this class, what gains did you make in integrating the following? So connecting key class ideas with other knowledge, no gain to great gain. So the options here are ordinal in nature. However, if you will again assign scores like no gain is 0, a little gain is 1, moderate gain is 2, good gain is 3. Then 1, 2, 3 assign to the items or treated as scores. Therefore, scores are numerical data. It is treated as interval data. Okay, so thank you for watching.